This is the episode 3 of the story of injection for my wife. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also, hit the like button as that helps the channel a lot. For notification, press the bell icon. Now, let's continue. After Nalima received 2 injections, one in arm, one in butt, from Dr. Friend, she started feeling better at night. But, her arm and butt was so painful, and she could not move her arm, and not even lie down properly. Rather, she lay on the side. Next day, in the afternoon, she was supposed to go in the pharmacy to see the doctor again. But she was still in pain from the injections, and was having difficulty to walk and move arm. So, I asked her if she really wants to go today. She insisted to go. I assumed, like other women, she also liked my doctor friend. I got a little sad though but did not express. She got ready in an hour. She was looking stunning. She put on a thin see-through yellow sari and sleeveless blouse. Her deep navel was properly visible through the thin layer of her sari. On top, she put on a red lipstick. I have never seen her this sexy before. The pharmacy was a bit far and I was going there first time too. We took an auto and reached there in 20 minutes. Let me tell a bit about the pharmacy. It is kind of a small shop. The front has a counter, and one person sits there who gives medicine to customer. Medicines are kept on the big storage racks attached to the wall. Inside the pharmacy, there is a table, a leather chair where doctor is sitting and another wooden chair where patient is sitting. At the back, there is a white curtain, and behind that curtain, there is a small little dark room with just a bed for patients. However, the pharmacy is at the side of a busy road, and anyone going through the road can take a glance at it, and can see what is happening inside. There is another long bench where other patients can wait before they see the doctor. Anyways, when we arrived, we found 3 more patients were waiting, and the doctor was seeing man. The doctor also has a nurse. She is a middle-aged woman, a little fat. We saw her measuring the BP of a patient who was sitting on the bench. I let Nalima sit on the corner of the bench and I kept standing. Everyone including the doctor was looking at her. However, my doctor friend did not even look at me and completely ignored me, as if he did not know me at all. The doctor finished checking the girl and the 2 men before Nalima, and starting checking the other man. Then the nurse came to Nalima with the BP meter, and asked to give her arm. By that time, one other woman and boy were also there on the bench, and I was sitting beside Nalima. I stood up and gave room to the nurse to taking BP. Nurse took Nalima's left arm and quickly put the cuff on. The cuff covered the lower part of her arm. There was still the blood mark from the injection site in Nalima's arm, and she asked, "Is it from injection?" I answered, "Yes. She got one yesterday." The nurse said, "Then let me put on other arm." And she measured the BP from Nalima's right arm and wrote on a piece of paper. Meantime, the doctor was preparing an injection, and man opened his shirt to get it. We all looked at him. A glass syringe with very thick needle penetrated the arm of the man. He made a hissing sound from the pain. When the injection was over, the man left and Nalima's turn came. She stooped up from the bench and sit on the chair beside the doctor. Today, the doctor did not greet her the way he did yesterday. It seemed very professional to me. He looked at Nalima and asked to show her hand. He checked the pulses, looked into her eyes, ears and tongue. He then told something to the ear of nurse. And the nurse went inside the curtain in the darker room. The doctor stooped up and asked Nalima to follow him. I was also trying to go in, but the nurse stopped me and asked me wait outside. So, I stooped near the curtain such that I can see inside. Nalima lied down on the bed. The doctor asked to remove sari from her belly. He started pressing in multiple locations around the stomach with fingers, and then with stethoscope. He also put stethoscope in breasts and listened to lungs and hearts. He then went on the other side of the bed and sat on a small chair. The nurse told Nalima to fold her knee while she lifted the sari and petticoat till the knee. I realized then what the doctor meant by the complete checkup yesterday. The doctor took a steel speculum and saw him rubbing with some jelly. Nalima never had this kind of checkup before. So, I was sure she was having fear in her mind too. The nurse lifted the sari such that the whole bottom of Nalima is open to the doctor. I could see both of her fair legs through the gap of the curtain. The doctor told Nalima to take deep breath, while the nurse held both the knees and kept the legs apart. The doctor put some jelly inside Nalima's lady part with his bare fingers. She deeply moaned. When the doctor started putting in the speculum, she started screaming with pain and started moving her body, head and arm. The nurse scolded her. Nalima put both hands in her mouth and kept screaming. I was feeling a bit helpless seeing her pain. The doctor looked inside and collected some samples. This continued for 2 minutes or so. After that the speculum was taken, and I saw tears running down her cheeks with the black eyeliner. After that, the doctor stood up and asked nurse to prepare her for an injection. The doctor came out, and even then he did not talk to me. That was surprising to me. He took the syringe and needle and started preparing an injection, while sitting in his chair. I was still standing near the curtain and saw that the nurse made Nalima lie on her stomach and lift her sari up fully, so that the whole buttock and legs are exposed. Nalima was still in pain, I assumed. After preparing the injection, the doctor entered inside the curtain and went near Nalima. This time he was seeing the whole bottom of her. He touched her butt with his left hand and select the location of the injection. He cleaned the area on the right side of the butt and injected the needle with a very quick force. Nalima jerked her bottom, and this time the nurse was hold her down to her waist. She made a deep hissing sound the whole time and medicine was going in. The injection took longer than usual. And then the doctor pulled the needle out and Nalima said a relief sound. He gave a vigorous massage to Nalima for a minute and asked nurse to give another massage, while he came out and sat his chair again. He called the next woman to him and started checking her. I moved from the curtain and sat on the bench again. After about 5 minutes, Nalima came out limping, and her right hand was placed on her right butt, while the nurse was holding her left arm near her armpit. The nurse brought her out and sat her down on the bench again. I looked at Nalima. Her face shows the sign of deep pain, and the black circles from the eyeliners around her eyes. The nurse asked to wait for some time. The doctor finished seeing the other woman meantime and asked Nalima to go back again, to sit on the chair beside him. Nalima tried to stand up and felt so much pain to walk alone even few steps. The nurse came forward and helped her around her left armpit. I too held her on the right side. She walked with limp and sat on the chair. The nurse brought a different syringe and handed over to the doctor. The doctor said, "This is a vaccine that you need." Nalima did not protest, but requested to be gentle. But I did not see any sign of gentleness. The doctor took the left arm of Nalima again, and this time he cleaned the spot above the upper vaccine scar of Nalima. She took a deep breath and the doctor jabbed the needle inside. Nalima screamed in pain. It took about 20 seconds to push the medicine, and then he removed the needle and pressed the spot with the cotton. After giving a little massage, he transferred the cotton to Nalima. She sat there and started massaging. Again, the nurse and I held her and brought back to the bench. After 10 minutes, we started to leave. Then the man at the counter called and asked for fee. I thought, as a friend he won't take money just like yesterday. But my doctor friend did not even look at me. So, I gave the fee. Then we took an auto and came back home. Nalima could not sleep that night from pain in her bottom and arm. If you like this episode of Injection Story, please give a like and consider subscribing to this channel. Please comment if you think my doctor friend intentionally gave a physical checkup and painful injections to my wife. Love to you all.